All right. So, so the controls in the room are from. Okay, the controls in the room are from this panel, which has your scene and zone controls that affect all the lights in the space, and then these ones grab individual lights at once, so I can turn off just the main lighting, for instance. There's the keypad by the podium will mirror exactly what these buttons do. So if you want to change these so that you have like a separate projector scene that's something besides just all the lights 50% dim, you can do that. And the way to do that is programming mode. So you hold the top and bottom button to get into programming mode. And you can tell when you're there because the LEDs scroll down in kind of a waterfall pattern. And on the screen you have your main menu, and the two important ones that people usually care about are time clock and scene setup, which are conveniently the first two on the menu. So time clock events, you don't have anything programmed, that's where automatic events would go. And if you want to go through there in more detail, I can show you. Scene setup is where you would change what these buttons do. So, scene setup, levels, that's your lighting levels. You just press OK. Scene 1 is your top button. Scene 2, Scene 3, and you can kind of see the lights going down as we go through. And Scene 4. And then you have extra scenes in here that you can call with automatic events or from other keypads if you want to program those up. There's 16 of them. So, quite a few. And then the other one is scene off. So if you didn't want scene off to actually turn all the lights off, you can change it. But, so for scene 1, if you want to change it, you would press OK, and it says set zones. Then you use these zone controls to change the lights to whatever you want them to be. So if we wanted scene 1 to turn off the back cans, we could turn off the back cans. And you see the scene in real time, so right now the back cans are off and everything else is at full bright. If we wanted to turn off the main lights, or maybe just have them very dim, we can do that. And if the back cans are good the way they are, we can leave them at 100%. So if you press these buttons once, you can see exactly what level you're at. One other thing you can do with these scenes is if you want a zone to be unaffected, you can press down, watch your lighting level go down. This is just the spare zone, it won't do anything to the lights. And then when the 3 LEDs show up in the middle, it's listed as unaffected. So that means you can set one of these scene buttons to only control one group of lights. So if you wanted, for instance, this button from the podium to just turn off those cans, you would set everything else to unaffected, but the cans to off. And then none of these zones would do anything when that button is pressed, just the cans would go to off. And that would work from here and from there. So if you press OK, it'll let you save it. I'm going to press the clock button to exit out so we don't save that, because at least this way it matches everything else.
On a side note, you have to keep pressing OK because it will keep asking you questions until it says saved in the screen. And we'll say like set shade groups. Well, you don't have shades on your graphic guide, so you would just press OK, and then it would say adjust fade rate.
Adjust fade time, 3 seconds. You can make it fade over a longer period of time. I think it goes up to an hour or 2. A lot of restaurants like to do that, but it shouldn't be a problem here. You just press OK, set shade groups. We're not worried about that. Press OK. Saved is what we're watching for, because that's when it's actually going to retain our programming.